Hello and welcome. My pronouns are Viva, Vis, and you are listening to Outcast. In this episode, I want to talk about my conclusions from Bi Week, which happened recently. My biggest conclusion is that I will no longer use Bi as one of my primary orientation labels, simply because I feel like people keep showing me that I am not welcome in the community, just by the way people phrase things, which especially this Bi Week has showed me. Like, all Bi Weeks probably would have, but like, this is the first time I've actually noticed this even more than normally, because people keep calling it Bisexual Awareness Week and talk about bisexuals and talk about bisexuality, and I am bi, but I am not bisexual. So it's like, where do I fit in this? I am not less bi because I'm not bisexual. I am bisensual. But this is just constantly erased because there's this weird hierarchy of attraction and orientation, and sexual orientation is at the very top, closely followed by romantic orientation, and everything else is just on the very bottom, completely erased all of the time. I don't even know what this weird hierarchy would be called. I don't know if it's like part of allonormativity, but also allos can be affected by this because allos are allowed to label other attractions than their sexual or romantic one. So I don't know what this is, but all I know is that it's really annoying because, again, I am asexual in the sense of a specific identity rather than the umbrella term, so I do not experience sexual attraction at all. So in my book, that means I can't be bisexual as well, because if I don't experience sexual attraction to any gender, I can't then experience sexual attraction to more than one gender. So I do not identify as bisexual at all. Like, I usually just say bi, or sometimes I will say bisensual when I'm trying to create some visibility for other bi orientations. But it's also kind of funny because people keep talking about like bi erasure and stuff while erasing members of their own community because they don't fit the allo picture of what a bi person is supposed to be. So I just feel excluded and unwelcome, and it's tiring. I can't keep correcting people either because it's fucking exhausting. And this is not even a problem that's specific to the bi community. This affects any orientation which has like the suffix of like sexual or romantic. So like pansexual, polysexual, omnisexual and that stuff. They are also all affected by this because I've seen this before with so-called pansexual and pan-romantic awareness week or day, I don't even know, which, great, you're including pan-romantic people, but you are still excluding me. And this is even sometimes seen in like aspec communities when people equate asexuality with aromanticism. And also when people talk about straight privilege, they often talk about heterosexuals, which doesn't really work either because they're aromantic heterosexuals and they do not have straight privilege because straight privilege is intertwined with being allo. Aspec straight people don't have access to straight privilege. Just talking about heterosexuals and heterosexuality just doesn't work. And it's so weird as well because the solution would be so easy. Like, people can just say bi rather than bisexual. It's literally that easy. And it's even shorter as well. Like, I'm not even saying that, like, an individual person can't refer to all of their attractions as bisexual, like, including romantic and other attractions, because that's fine. And I did that when I thought I was allo and bi. I called all my different attractions bisexual. But that doesn't mean that we should generalize it and just assume that every bi person identifies as bisexual, because there's a lot of us who don't. And then there's the kind of people who say that bisexuality already includes all the different types of attractions, and the sex bit in bisexual doesn't refer to sexual attraction, but to sex, which is just deeply problematic. Because firstly, bisexuality, or bi orientation in general, is about gender and not sex. So, what the fuck? Because people are saying, like, oh, it means you're attracted to, like, 2 or more sexes, which, yeah. Because sex has nothing to do with gender. Sex describes what bodies look like. And reducing people to that is just so problematic, especially when it comes to trans and genderqueer people. Because I want to be loved for my gender and not for what my fucking body looks like. So if you say the sex and bisexual stands for sex and not sexual attraction, you are just being deeply transphobic. So what I have decided to do is not use bi as my primary label anymore and use gay instead. Because for a while, I have called all my attractions gay anyway, because I'm genderqueer, so what the fuck does straight mean to a genderqueer person? Like, none of my attractions are straight or close to straight. It's just all gay, but the problem with that is that gay doesn't necessarily apply attraction to multiple genders, because gay obviously could just be like a mono orientation in some people. So I have also been looking for a word, like on Tumblr, because great queers on Tumblr keep coining new words for all kinds of queer identities, and I absolutely love it. So I've been looking for an alternative for the word bi or pan, like just anything that means attraction to more than one, or like, I don't know, all genders or something. And the only thing I have found is pluralian, but I'm not really a fan of that, because firstly, if I translate it to German, it's already a word in German, so that doesn't really work, and also I feel like it might lead to some confusion with being plural, because I'm not plural, and I don't want people to think, like especially like plural people, to think that I am appropriating a term that's for them or something, because it does sound like it would be an orientation that's related to plurality. So yeah, I don't know, I'm not a fan either of how it sounds. So if anyone knows a word to describe attraction to all genders or multiple genders, hit me up, please. I am in need of a word. But that's all I can say about this. And now it's time for the pronoun of the week. This week's pronoun is purse. Examples. Per is sitting on the bed. Per name is Jay. The bed is purse. Per looks at herself in the mirror. That bedroom is purse. If you want to suggest a pronoun set, you can DM me on Instagram or Twitter or send me an email. If you want to support me, you can subscribe to my Patreon. My Patreon is patreon.com/out_castpod. I'm also out_castpod on both Twitter and Instagram. My email address is gndrqr98@gmail.com. If you want to be featured on the podcast, you can send me a voice message. The link for that, just like all the other contact information, will be in the notes for this episode. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening, and until next time, take care of yourself.